Hiya, I am Kerry from Mobilates and I'm here with the Royal Voluntary Service for Virtual Village Hall and 30 minutes of gentle and mindful Pilates in the chair, Pilates standing up, Pilates maybe on the edge of your bed, Pilates lying down on your bed partway through, or I'll be down on this mat. You might need a cushion later. I'm going to do a little bit on our side, but we're going to start with some breath work. Nearly always start with some breath work. Sitting or standing. I'll keep a little lookout here. Who have we got? Irene, hiya, nice to see you. We're going to do some controlled breath work. So first let your belly be nice and soft. Then take your hand to one side. I don't know if you're looking at my left or my right. I can't tell. Sometimes I get confused, but just copy. I want you to breathe into this hand. Don't worry about the fingers, just feel the palm and the heel of the hand. Hello, Rosemary. Hiya, nice to see you. Or see you through the screen. Send the breath into that hand. So breathe in and really push against it. And then put the other hand on the belly and feel that go in as you breathe out. Blow that air out slowly. Another breath into this hand. Send it that way. And then as you breathe out, feel your tummy pulling back. And then let that go, a bit loosey-goosey. And then we're going to the other hand. So just popping it somewhere on the side. Think really high waist, really high trousers, that sort of height. Other hand on the belly. Breathe into this palm again. Push it away this side. As you breathe out, feel your tummy pulling in. I was wanting to say pulley again. Breath into the hand. Breathing out, feel that belly just pulling back a little. Let it go again there. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Jean. Nice to see you. Right, now both hands. So you can go like this, or if it's more comfortable, you can go like this. It gives you less room to breathe forwards, but we're trying to aim it at the sides. Lateral breath, if we want technical terms. This time, just make your tummy slightly tighter, like we've just put something cold on it. It can be a cold hand, or it just feels a little cold. Just imagine that feeling. So it's got a little bit of tension. Now take your breath in, but to where these hands are pressing. Feel them expand at the side, and then feel that belly pull back maybe a little further. Breathe in it again, but keep this bit a little tight, a little bit of pressure in. Blow the air away. Feeling your ribs come down here, feeling your belly pull back here. Hello, Pauline. Oh, lots of you here. And then let it go loose. So there's lots to concentrate on that breathing, and ultimately, as long as you're breathing, we're good. But sometimes we want that extra bit of control. We have the belly sort of held in a little. That's why we aim the breath up here, because there isn't room for the belly to move in and out. The diaphragm move down, the lungs to fill that way. So we're trying to do it out to the side. So we might be moving our legs or doing something controlled. So it's just tapping into that. Just let your breath go back to a normal pace. And start to move your legs into alignment. So I'm just bringing my feet so that they are parallel, or as parallel as I can get them. My toes turn a little bit in that way. I'm going for as best as I can do. If you're sitting, it's a gap of about 2 fists between the legs. Pull yourself up a little bit in the spine. So imagine I'm just pulling that invisible, oh, I've actually got a hair, pulling it upwards. Feel that bit taller. That's it. And now lean your head back slightly in your shoulders, and you might feel the whole of your body. Oh, I feel like I'm tilting backwards, and I'm going to come a little bit forwards because that was all on my heels. Just find that place. You might even end up rocking forwards and backwards in the chair or standing up. That's it. And then we're going to tilt under, but using our belly. So tighten that belly just like it's a little cold, like someone's just taken cold fingers and just stroked across. Woo. And you can see I'm just using my hand here to feel the shape of my back. So that's when my bum's sticking out a bit. There's a little bit of an arch. I don't have a big arch there. And then that's the feeling as it lengthens. It's going quite straight and slightly curved. You might find yours is more curved than that. We're all very different. It's like if we start comparing eyebrows or something, every part of us is different. That's it. Tune in with how it feels. Is it a little tight? Does that feel nice tucking under? Or does that feel tight and grippy maybe here? Or a little bit under here? Just noting it. And then still, that's it. And we'll just start to draw an arc with the back of our head. Everything else still. Could start to open out a little more here. That's it. And then we're going to lean more on one side, just holding it there, ears towards shoulder. You can see there's no way it's going to touch, it's just a direction. And then ear towards the other shoulder. Bring it back to the center, just looking ahead. Turn to one side. And now it's almost like we're doing a little bow, super small. I feel like I'm getting all the chins coming here. And then up, back to the center. All this stays like a spirit level. Turn, tiny tilt down, up. We're going to go one more each side. It might be you don't turn your head as far, it doesn't want to go that far, and your tilt's just coming slightly to the front. Go with whatever is working for you. And then back to the centre, and then we're going to take the top of our nose just forward. Imagine that you've got an orange under here. Feel the orange underneath. You don't want to squash it too much, just holding it gently. Now let your head just rock to one side, back to that orange, rock to the center. So I feel if I go to this side, the orange probably falls out at that point, that metaphorical orange, but just imagining it there when you come back. And hopefully this should feel pretty nice. If you need to modify it, maybe you make it smaller, maybe you make it bigger and you go right around in a circle. Go with what works for you. Bring it back, roll up. Start some shoulder rolls. You might get some clicks and clacks. I often get them right across my ribs at the front. Body loves to make its own percussion. That's it. Just breathing a little deeper. We've got plenty of room to breathe. Not worried about whether you're holding this in. Just breathing. That's it. And then we're going to start some arm circles. I'm going to take my hands towards each other. So they're back to back. So turn there, feels a little strange. And then take them up, open out. And I'm going to look up and lean back a little. So if I show you from the side, you can see my hands coming back to back. They're coming up as far as I can take them. About here feels okay for me. And then it's expansive, it's opening up. It's almost like a flower blooming. That's it. And it might be that you're going smaller, you've got a smaller movement, more like that, just a smaller bloom. It's all good. And if you want a bit more chest opening, you might even really lean back, as long as it feels good and you don't feel any strain or stress anywhere. Go for it. And then we're going to take it the other way. Rolling it back, bringing those hands in together. A little bit of bend, a little bit of flexion in the upper spine. Now if you know that you don't want a lot of flexion, make it super small. So say you've got osteoporosis, flexion is something that you tend to take care of. You don't want heavy loaded flexion. Heavy loaded flexion looks like that. So just a gentle curve. And we're at the start, we're just doing really gentle things. So. And then just starting to, if you're sitting, slide your hands up and down your legs. If you're standing, we're just going to move our feet and swing our arms around. It's just to bring rotation into your spine, at your waist. Always get the clicks of the knees on this bit. Start to float your hands around, press your feet into the floor just to keep them nice and steady. That's it, and try not to crash into the desk here. And bring it back to the centre. Then we're just going to take our hands nice and open, giving my fingers a little wiggle, keeping them awake. Elbows gently into the waist. Drawing this infinity symbol, make it bigger. That's it, gets right into the shoulders. This might be as big as you want it. If you want a bit more body involved, you can start to just a little bend and then a little lean back, little extension. So a little bit of a bend, a flexion forwards, lean back and extension backwards. But if you don't want that, maybe it makes you dizzy, yeah, leave it out. Just keep it with the arms like this, looking ahead. You can start to pull into your tummy, just keeps the balance better. That's it. Now, if you do like this bending and leaning back, you might want to bend your knees and go a little further. Same if you are in the chair. Maybe take your legs a little wider, then you've got room to come down and come up. I'm doing a one arm because I don't want to knock the plants over here. And then bring yourself back up. Bring yourself back into alignment. So imagining maybe a plank between the feet. That sometimes helps to get them into alignment. And then we're just going to bring our elbows into our waist. Give your shoulders a little wriggle. Starting to offer out our hand at the side, palm upwards. That's it. Get a little bit of that going. And we're trying to keep the rest of the body forwards. So I can see as I do that, sometimes I'm trying to do that as well. Try and keep it all still. If you're sitting, because your bottom is planted on the chair, it gives you a bit of resistance. If you're standing, you have to really concentrate on that a little more. And then we're going to do same sort of movement with the legs. Let's work one leg at a time though. So I'm just taking the weight into this leg and pivoting on this foot. So it starts to open out. If you're sitting, you might even like to slide the leg out a little bit if you're sitting. So my foot's sliding across the floor just on the ball of my foot. If you're standing and your balance is good, you could lift your leg. You could use the chair, which is just close enough for me there. Trying to keep this all facing forwards as this opens out to the side. Think of it as like a gate. Last one. A little softness in the legs, a little walking it through. And then same on the other side. So just starting to get that opening first. Maybe sliding the foot round if you're sitting. Arms can be here, they could be here. Could be using that chair. It's a bit far away now. Could be a little higher. I'm really trying to concentrate on facing my body towards you and just taking this leg out. You can go super, super slow. That's it. Well done. Oh, last one. Just march it out. And then we're going to a little bit more balance work. So putting your hands out to the side, taking one leg slowly up. Now you might take it to what we call tabletop. I'll show you at the side. That's tabletop. This is like the table, this is like the leg. But as long as your foot's off the floor, and that can be just the heel off the floor, that's giving you a balance challenge. And if you're sitting, you've already got your leg bent in tabletop. So if you take your heel up, that might be enough. You can lift it up higher, can get a little tight here. You can hinge back a little. That can help, it's quite strong. So I think heel raise for that one is nice. Alternate the sides. I'm going to give you something to do with the arms at the same time. So as you take a leg up, this time I'm going to bring my hands back like a stop sign. And then going up on the other side, take the hands downwards. We'll keep alternating. You can bring your elbows in and soften in between. That's it. And now I'm going to start to make my foot long. So if I show from the side, you can see my foot's making a long, like a gently pointed toe. That's it. And you can do this so that you're using balance and a bit of assistance. Really pulling in here. I'm sure you're doing that already. That's what keeps us upright. Last two. Well, don't know which way I'm going now. Long foot, that's the one. A little bit of a wiggle. And then we're going wide legs. Take your arms out and we're going to bend our knees outwards softly. Now, if your knees are a little bit painful, you don't have to go so low. You can keep it a little higher. If you're sitting, just the same like that, but both arms out in a T shape, palms upwards. That's it. And then we're going to take one arm over the top. See this arm that's resting here, I'm just waving it. That's staying at the same level, reaching over towards it, opening up. Reaching over towards it, opening up. So this arm that's coming to reach over, nice and soft. There. Bring out your inner dancer. We've all got one. And I want you to breathe through all of this. And a nice place to breathe is when you're reaching over here and you've got this big expanse, this big stretch here. Breathe into that space. And as you breathe out, straighten yourself up. Taking it over, breathe in. Opening up, breathe out. One more each side, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out. And then we're going to stand up, push up. You're fine if you sat down, just keep your legs apart. We're going to take, the feet are pointing outwards, take the bottom back. Or if you're sitting, just hinge forwards, straight back. So I'm going to look ahead, my hands on my thighs. Start to tuck your bottom under. Use your belly muscles, tighten those. Bottom's going under. You see it rippling up to my head. Head's going to look down. Push up. Same again. It's an alternative roll down. Less load on the spine. If I was sitting, I'll do it from the side. Hinge forward first, straight back. And tucking under. Pushing up. Might hinge forwards further if you've got that flexibility. Tucking under. Feels like you're sort of scooping yourself back. And one more. And then make your way down to your mat, down to your bed. If you're on the bed, take the duvet back so it's a little bit firmer. Otherwise it can be so squishy, you can't get enough resistance. And remember, a little pillow would be nice. And I'm going to move myself down to the floor. Turn that one over. I have all my little plan here just so I don't forget anything. Although I will confess, I do go a little bit rogue, depending on how we're feeling. Right. Lying down. Have something under your head if you like. Spread yourself out a little bit. Take a bit of space up. Wriggle your shoulders into your mat. Wriggle your bottom, your hips. Get everything nice and comfortable. Really feel grounded, literally feeling the ground, feeling the bed. I'm using my feet just to steer and rock a little side to side. That's it. And then come to stillness. Bring the feet and the knees together. Arms so that your hands are on this low belly, sort of pelvic area. Might feel your hips around this place. Depends how many layers you've got on. Take your heels out, toes forwards. Take a breath in. This time, aim it towards the mat, your back and your side ribs, rather than here at the front. Just aim it backwards. As you breathe out, feel this belly tighten. And then let the back of your waistband sink down and your pelvis tilt up. See my bottom's tilting up and my back of my waistband, back of my jumper's pressed into the mat. As you breathe in, let your pubic bone, your pelvis just rock forwards. So my jumper's no longer pressed into the back of my mat. There's a little bit of air. I can even get a hand under there. Breathe in again. Aim it to these back ribs, side ribs, into that mat, into the bed. Breathing out. Let it sink down. Let the back of your waistband, back of your jumper, press into the mat. Feel your pelvis rock up. Breathing in, it rocks forwards. Breathing out, you're rocking back, waistband, jumper into the mat. And then just let it relax and rock forwards. That's it. Lift your arms upwards. Now I'm just going to check, got enough room behind me, and I want you to check the same. You're not going to knock anything over, a glass of water or anything like that. We're going to keep everything here under control. We're going to sort of concentrate on any changes that we feel. So that feeling when everything's pressed against the mat, the back of our waistband, back of our jumper, we don't want that for this move. We want that little space to stay there. Take your arms up, slowly start to take them back. No particular breath, just taking them back. But I don't want your back to suddenly do that. You see my mind starts to arch off the floor, my belly's sort of getting long here. Oh, quite an arch, I don't want that. So just taking it back, and at some point it will start to feel like it's almost like pulling, it's tugging, it wants to pop up. I'm feeling it about here. So I'm going to hold it there and then take them down. And I'm really having to pull in here, not madly, just engaging it. So there's that cold feeling again, just to keep everything there. Now by doing this, another way to know that you're doing it is your ribs stay in place here. They don't suddenly go, whoa, and pop up. You can see mine just jump up there when I was showing you. Just trying to keep that under control. So just taking your arms back and forth, it looks easy. It's much harder than it looks. Let's bring something extra into this. Take a leg up to tabletop, up to that 90 degrees. Just hold it there. Keeping that back, so there's no arching, everything's still. But trying to breathe sometimes as well. So you might like breathing when your arms go back. Breath, really trying to control it in here rather than getting that sort of thing happening. Breathing out as they come forwards. Let's try the other leg. Nice. Take it down. Next thing to do is to push that leg away, make it long, diagonal, sort of reaching away. Bring it back. We'll do 3 each side. So I'm breathing in as that leg pushes away and the arms just go back. Your arms might be going further, or they might be going higher. I feel like mine can go a bit further now. I've got it under control, but it's quite a bit more with the leg. I think that was 3. Slowly up to the other tabletop. 1, 2, 3. And now, because we've kept that controlled, let's loosen everything off. So let your legs come in wide. You can hold under here or on here. But now let everything curve. Feel your jumper and the waistband of your leggings press into the mat. Everything's rounding here. Even go a little side to side or circles. And then we're going to roll onto our side. This is where I want to cushion. And I want you to go in a long line. And just going in this long line can be challenge enough because it should feel quite wobbly. It should feel like you're sort of trying to balance because you are trying to balance. So you might want a hand, like a little tripod, just holding here. I'm just on my finger pads. Long legs, long feet, and you want to feel you're right on your side. So you have to pull in here and you have to pull in here as well. Otherwise there's a tendency to do that and almost like you see my bum coming up in an arch here. want to keep it long here. Imagine someone's pulling those feet. Right, from here, we're going to take a breath in. So it's into here because this is busy. It's a little bit engaged. Bring that leg up. Just a little, less than you think. Take it down. You'll find out why. It's going up. Now the other leg, we're going to invite it to come up, to stick to it. It might stick, it might be here. Oh, I'm trying to get not cramping my toes. And then take that leg down, take the other leg down. Breath in. As we breathe out, that leg comes up a little, the other leg comes to sort of kiss it, really. And they can both travel down together this time. Last one. Breath in, breath out, leg up, other leg up. Hold it there, long. Someone's pulling those legs away. And then take them down, bend them forwards. So they're now like you're on a chair. They're in an L shape again. Bring this arm forwards. You might want the cushions so that there's a bit more behind you. Now with this top arm, this is going to do the work. Take the elbow back and roll back a little bit. And the elbow is circling. Your legs don't need to stick together, so if you're really opening up, that feels good. You can see how your legs just start to see the little gap there. Open up there. And it might be you're doing a little. You don't want to open up too much, doesn't feel right. It might be you're doing a lot. That's it. And I'm breathing in as my arm gets to the front and breathing out on that circle. Last one. Oh, that was good. Right, we need to swap around the other side. So you might roll long and swap over that way. I'm going to roll around to face you. Take your time. I know I've just flipped myself around really fast, but you don't have to. Concentrate on getting yourself long and in line. Sometimes if you've got a mat, that's the thing to use. So I can see my legs were way back there. Bring them forwards. I'm going to try and use my mat to line everything up. Pulling in here, just keep everything steady. Pulling up a little bit here as well. That's it. Really keeping it long, long feet. Breath in. Breath out, taking that leg up just a bit and down. This supporting arm, I've got mine long. Some people like that position. Legs going up again and down. He's going up. The other leg's coming up. Just to give it a little touch if it can, or come close. And then take both of them down. Breath in. Breath out, top leg up. Other leg meets it, take it down. Legs are long, heavy things. So if you're feeling this, I'm not surprised. Legs are heavy, but it's good for them. Oh, I think there's maybe one more. But if you're ready to stop, bend them now. And I'm going to bend mine too. So we're into that sort of L shape, a bit like we're sat on an imaginary chair. This arm's going to come forwards. Just settling that cushion so I've got a bit of a roll back space. And the elbow is going to lead the way. Now you might find it's quite a crunchy, clicky sort of movement because it's shoulders. And they love to have a little clicky, crunchy. As long as it doesn't hurt, we can go with those noises, just like we do in the warm-up. You might find your arm wants to open out a little bit more. So you're drawing bigger, more expansive circles. If that feels good, go with it. If those legs want to just part a little and you sort of roll back, oh, that's nice. And you're breathing. Last one coming up. And then we're going to come to sitting. So push yourself up You might want this pillow under your bottom. That is where mine is going. And then the legs are going out. Now we're going to vary. Some of you might be like this. Some of you might be like this. Some of you might be like legs way out here. This is about where mine will go. I want you sitting upright. Flex your toes back towards you and then make them long. From this angle, it's making my feet and legs look really long. They're not that long. That's it. And then keep your toes towards you. Mine really pushing towards me. Now take your arms and we are hinging forwards. So you might only go a little way. That might be as far as you can hinge. We're stirring something. Soup, custard, fondue, maybe a cocktail, mulled wine, and then take it the other way. That's it. And you might be able to really lean into it. I really feel it right down my legs doing this, but in a good way, a good stretch. Last one. Take your hands behind you. Now lengthen those legs, maybe lean back a little, but don't slump, just push away. And then just loosen off, let everything flop a little. Then push back, push your chest up. And let everything flop again. One more, push back. And then make those legs comfortable, bring them inwards a little bit. Turn your arms outwards, palms out. We are almost done. Breathe in, take your hands up. Breathe out, take them down to your chest. Oh, well done, everybody. Well done. Super concentrated. I hope you liked all that flow. I'm going to check you all out here. Thank you for saying hello. See you again next week.